Good morning, I'm Pastor Jason, and I want to thank you for joining us as we work through the Baptist Catechism. Today's question is number 2. What is the chief end of man? What is man's chief goal or purpose? What is the chief end of man? A lot of people wonder about this. This is a great question. Man's chief purpose, man's chief end is to glorify God and to enjoy Him forever. So, the Bible says this in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 31. Whether then you eat or drink or whatever you do all to the glory of God. As each one of us is going to live and move and have our being, and we're going to make all sorts of choices. But in the end of it, what we need to recognize is that our purpose on this earth, the goal that God has for us, is that we would bring Him glory and that we would enjoy Him forever. God was not lonely. That's not the reason He created man, but He created mankind to reflect who He is and to bring Him glory all across this creation and for us to enjoy Him. Psalm 73, verse 25 and 26 says this, "Whom have I in heaven besides Thee? And besides Thee I desire nothing on earth. My flesh and heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and portion forever." And this was from Asaph. Asaph wrote about this, and he recognized that his purpose in life was to follow the Lord. "I desire nothing on earth besides Thee. My heart and flesh may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and portion forever." God put eternity in our hearts. He wants us to enjoy Him. He wants us to know Him. He wants us, as the image bearers of God, to reflect His glory everywhere we go in this created world. Psalm 37, verse 4 says this, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." Now, it doesn't mean that He's going to give you a Lamborghini or a new house or help you win the lottery. But if you delight yourself in the Lord, then your desires will be met because God can meet all of those desires in Himself. So that's an encouragement from David. Delight yourself in the Lord. He'll give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him and He will do it. He will bring forth your righteousness and light, and your judgment is the noonday. And so His encouragement is for us to understand our purpose. God created us to bring Him glory and to enjoy Him. And there's so much in this life that God would have us to enjoy, and we can if we know who He is and we focus in on Him with our life to bring Him glory. One last verse in the Psalms here. Psalm 16, verse 11. It says this, David wrote this, "Thou wilt make known to me the path of life, and in Thy presence is fullness of joy. In Thy right hand there are pleasures forever." So when we understand who God is and how blessed it is to know who God is, how blessed it is to have a relationship with the Lord, then we can understand that God wants us to enjoy Him. Now, when we go and be with the Lord, it's not like we're just going to be sitting up on a cloud strumming a harp for eternity, and that could get really boring forever. Think about how creative God was to create this whole entire world and all the unique little things in it that He has created for us. He didn't have to do any of that. And so we can enjoy the Lord here. And we just have to understand that when we get to be with the Lord on past this life, that there is so much more that we just don't even know. And there's even so much more enjoyment that we can experience with the Lord. Here is one other verse here. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 7. Let me go over here to that. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 7 says this, "Everyone who is called by my name, and whom I've created for my glory, whom I have formed, even whom I have made." So God Himself is declaring that the reason He made mankind is for His glory. God did all of this to bring Himself glory. God wants us to reflect back that glory, to bring Him glory in that. And the Lord wants us to enjoy Him in our life. The question is, what is the chief end of man? The answer? To glorify God and to enjoy Him forever.